Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one is called The Flowers of War 2011. This is the highest grossing Chinese movie of all time, starring Christian Bale. This is the second movie that I've liked, starring Christian Bale as the main character. The second one being the Dieter Dangler movie. I forget the name of it, but he was good playing Dieter Dangler. I didn't like him as Batman with his laryngitis voice, but he was pretty good in the other two movies, including this one. He plays a mortician and of course the movie's about the rape of Nanking in 1937. What better way to get Chinese into movie theaters, right? So it takes place during the rape of Nanking, 1937. These two orphan students, I guess, at the Catholic Church in Nanking, they're like hiding from the Japanese, and same with the mortician guy, Christian Bale. He came there to bury the priest who died at the Catholic Church, which is being run by some young adolescent, prepubescent Chinese boy who was like the I guess the priest was like a mentor to him, so he's protecting the girls there, or he's trying to, but the truck is broken so they can't escape. So the mortician brings the two girls, no, I guess they're 13 or something. He brings them there. And all of a sudden these Nanking prostitutes jump over the wall to get sanctuary. There's even a dying soldier who gets sanctuary inside there. And watching the trailer made me cry. It's a depressing movie. It's definitely a tearjerker, but great acting performances, good cinematography. I liked how the realistic nature of war in China, 1937. They didn't try to pretty it up or make it look glamorous or anything. Especially since it was Japanese war of aggression. They tried to make it as ugly as possible for the Chinese audience, which is not to say necessarily that it's a propaganda movie. I think they just did it to sell movie tickets. It was a clever marketing trick, I think. And I don't think Japanese people were necessarily all that bad during this time. If you look at a movie, for instance, In the Realm of Senses, you get the idea that at least some Japanese people weren't playing along with the imperialist slogans and military drumbeat. So this movie isn't to say that all Japanese people are bad. It's just they use a lot of derogatory terms. At least when it translates into the English subtitles, it translates into Jap instead of Japanese, which is like a derogatory term that United States people used to use against Japanese during the war. Those dirty Japs, that sort of thing. So there's that element, a little bit of racism there. So all these women are kind of stuck there with this dying soldier. The Japanese break in there and start raping the little girls. Of course, you can't show 13-year-old girls getting raped, so they just kind of rip off their outer clothes, and everything's off camera pretty much. One of them falls and dies off a balcony. It's pretty grim stuff, man. War movie. So so later on, this supposedly cultured Japanese warrior guy comes there to sing his music and to apologize. Yeah, fat lot of good that does ex post facto. So he makes them, the schoolgirls, sing. They sing this beautiful song, church music, church choir stuff. I don't know if it's their actual voices, but it sounded pretty good. So the Japanese guy likes it. He wants them to sing in the victory parade for Japan's sacking of Nanking. Eventually, the prostitutes agree to pose as students. Even the boy wears a wig and dresses up like a transvestite. I guess they shaved off his little stubble mustache. They gave him a wig. Meanwhile, the girl's daughter manages to get one of the girl's daughter. I think it's the one that was hiding in the war field. Her dad gets a permit to leave Nanking. He gets tools to fix the truck, and he ends up dying for it. So I guess he's working with the Japanese. His daughter thinks he's a traitor, but he actually ends up saving her life. And at first the girl thinks that the prostitutes are dirty whores, but then they end up saving her life too. So it's kind of a movie about unlikely heroes, I guess. Unlikely war heroes. Prostitute and a Chinese dude who sold his soul to the Japanese. Or the Japanese imperialist army, whatever. So, pretty cool flick. It's definitely a depressing flick. I watched about half of it. Then I started watching the DVDs because it's 4th of July weekend. My son's up in Seattle or Alaska somewhere, camping or whatever. So I can't see him until next Sunday. So I got 3 days of basically doing nothing but watching movies, and made a new playlist of some of the 5 out of 5 star movies that I've been rating, going all the way back to 2012. Came up with 200 such movies on my list. So that was kind of fun, going back and looking at all the movies that I enjoyed during the past 4 years. Yeah, I posted trailers and full-length movies if you want to check them out. Go to my channel, click on playlists. Should be the first one there. I just updated it today. So that was pretty fun. I'm going to watch Detective D now. I think it's the first one. It's called Detective D and the Mystery of the Phantom Flame. So I watched Detective D in reverse order. Detective D and the Mystery of the Sea Monster, or whatever it's called. I saw that one first, the sequel. Now I'm seeing the first film, which was a few years before the second one. So I'm pretty excited about that. I like the second Detective D. I hope the first one is as good as the second one. But this movie is great. The Flowers of War, even though it is kind of racist and propaganda, you know, they did it to sell more tickets. So it's kind of a clever marketing trick, I guess. That's the only way I can explain it. But the dialogue has the feel of 1943 Batman serial, if you know what I mean. So, pretty cool flick. I think they did a good job of portraying the prostitutes with their hairdos, curly hairs and stuff, cheap how dresses. That was pretty cool. And they walk around shaking their butts and stuff. Christian Bale, he spends a lot of time drinking the church wine, and he actually poses as a priest to help the kids there. That was pretty cool. He was another unlikely hero, Christian Bale. He's like a drunk mortician guy. Doesn't believe in anything except for, you know, getting the hottest Chinese prostitute who jumps the wall. She's the only one who can speak English, by the way. 50% of this movie is English, and the rest are just Chinese dialects. So it's interesting. It was kind of cool how they tempered the racism against Japanese with sort of openness towards Catholicism. I'm surprised they even showed a goddamn Catholic church. Pardon my French. So it was kind of tempered a bit with the racism was kind of tempered a bit with the Catholic symbols and whatnot. I'm surprised the communist government even allowed that stuff. But pretty cool flick. Overall, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think the Japanese racism doesn't detract from the overall movie. It's a depressing movie anyway. So you might as well throw in some nasty Chinese people who hate Japanese and make it even more depressing. Let's just say the Chinese girls are not very Catholic towards their rapist tormentors, as it were. They're not very forgiving. Even the prostitutes, they carry these pieces of mirror. They're like impromptu daggers that they're going to use to poke the Japanese eyes out. That was pretty brutal. I wish they would have shown what happened to those Japanese prostitutes, but that was kind of a open-ended, unresolved continuity problem. Probably use it to make a sequel. I don't know. I don't even know if this is based on a true story. seemed kind of far-fetched and a little bit, I don't know, unlikely of happening, but definitely highlights the will to survive and the ability to live in hazardous conditions, which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I got a kick out of this flick. It's too bad none of the prostitutes get naked, or at least when they do, it's all off camera or funny camera angles, that kind of thing. So that was unfortunate, but it's pretty risque for Chinese audience, even though it does have the standard anti-Japanese formula in there. It's kind of beating a dead horse there, but whatever makes audiences, Chinese people, flock to the Beijing theater, I guess, is what they're aiming for here. It is a mainstream movie after all, so don't expect too many surprises. But like I said, I was surprised by the portrayal of the Catholic Church in this movie as a sort of a sanctuary against whatever shenanigans were going on in 1937, rape and war and all that good stuff. Pretty much depicted in this movie with the violins going nonstop, that kind of stuff. I mean, they got the formula down pretty well, as if it hasn't been done before. I don't think so. But I guess they perfected it. They got it down pat. Because look at all the Chinese people who went to see this movie. Anyways, sorry if I sound cynical, but I don't know. I just thought it was a great flick. Definitely worth watching. Check it out later. Bye.